Hi, dear colleagues. My name is Win Chao, and I am a postdoc from Ahmed's group of gas-phase chemical physics at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. Today, I'm going to share with some latest advances of my group in probing molecular growth, interactions, and networks. We target elementary reactions and dynamics in the gas phase, which is the key to understanding more complicated multi-step and multi-phase chemical transformations. Our effort in molecular reactivity in complex systems is from two different directions: molecular cluster chemistry and the growth of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which is short for PAH. The two projects are explored using our synchrotron-based time-of-flight mass spectrometer, coupled with many state-of-the-art experimental techniques and corroborated by theoretical calculation and modeling. The ionization of composite molecular cluster and subsequent energy transfer not only allows us to take a closer look into their spectral and structural properties, but also has enormous applications, such as dark matter detectors and ignition aid. The PAH, on the other hand, is ubiquitous from our atmosphere as a precursor to the formation of soot, which is a pollutant, to the extraterrestrial environment like Titan, one of Saturn's moons, as an indicator of the existence of organisms. Our effort in the growth of PAH has expanded the old theory and confirmed the proposed reaction pathways and identified many novel compounds. Here, the second frame summarizes the results of the single photon ionization of argon acetylene clusters. From the mass spectra, we can see strong cluster signals, especially at lower acetylene concentrations. These are clusters with central acetylene molecules seated by several argon atoms. If we take a closer look at the photoionization efficiency curve of these clusters, we found out that the peak actually consists of two components. We disentangled the two components and noticed the resemblance to the excitation spectra of pure argon dimer and larger argon clusters, and then identified them as atomic and cluster components. The mechanism behind this is ultraviolet photons are absorbed by the argon atoms and become electronically excited. But such energy is beyond the ionization threshold of acetylene. The excited states of argon cluster transfer energy to acetylene, results in its ionization and causing effective successive evaporation of argon, and thus mostly shows the excitation spectra of pure argon clusters. Theoretically calculated excitation spectra of pure argon clusters are also in excellent agreement with the experimental measurements and provide insights into the structure and ionization dynamics of the clusters. The second project we investigated is the growth of PAH for the self-combination reaction of propargyl. First, carried by argon gas, the propargyl bromide vapor is expanded into the high vacuum and passes through a resistively heated silicon carbide tube that is heated up to 1500 kelvins. The high temperature will then break the carbon-bromine bond and give a propargyl radical, and this radical will self-react to form various product isomers. Theoretical work are also accompanied to reveal more details of the reaction kinetics. Using this method, we have confirmed the previous theoretically proposed mechanism for forward new mechanisms of PAH growth and significantly refined the PAH chemistry in both the combustion and astrochemistry community. Since 2018, we have 16 high impact factor publications from this project. We will proceed to the ultimate goal of PAH nanosheets, nanowires, and fullerenes. In the future, we will continue the study of photo-induced reactivity of non-covalent bonded water-containing clusters at the molecular level, coupled with collaborations with the theoreticians. We will extend our studies using alcohol-water clusters from which we learned about ionic hydrogen bonds. We will extend our study to other larger alcohols, such as ethylene glycol and propylene glycol. The two isomers of propylene glycol, 1,2 and 1,3, give an additional dimension where one can study the effects of adjoining hydroxyl groups versus non-adjoining hydroxyl groups in cluster formation and hydrogen bonding. Therefore, one would expect different cluster formations and hydrogen bonding networks in these two isomers. Another direction that we will endeavor is to study the molecular mechanisms of evaporation of water within confined volumes and in mixtures. We conceive an idea to build a system in which liquids are sealed in silicon nitride membranes with 2 to 3 micrometer apertures and expanded into high vacuum. The molecules evaporating from the liquid surface are ionized by VUV photons and then detected by TOF MS. We propose to physically chop the emanating vapor to measure its time of flight to obtain velocities and hence translational dynamics. We also envision incorporating other spectroscopic measurements such as IR, terahertz, and UV to dynamically probe the interface in the future. Thank you.